Trey Johnson was born into a football family.
Both my older brothers played at Division I level, so as my father did at Michigan State University, so I always thought it was something that we were supposed to do. If you were a Johnson, you played college football. My oldest brother, I might have been like 2-3 years old, and he would have me play the center because that's all I could do was snap the ball, and he would be the quarterback, and then he would pitch the ball to my middle brother.
Wanting to follow in the footsteps of his dad and brothers, Trey took the initiative to get recruited by a Division I program that was also accompanied by strong academics.
I was just sending my film out like rapidly. I was a pest. I would send it like every 2 weeks. If they didn't respond, I would send it again to the coaches. And eventually Bucknell caught my eye, and the rest is history. Going in as a first year here, I never thought I would have been involved as much as I got into. Whether it's people just like saying, come on Trey, like you'd be good for this. And me believing them and saying, okay, I'll step outside of my comfort zone to do it. I truly feel like I can do anything. I feel like I can learn any material. I feel like I can present anything in front of any person. I feel like I can meet all types of new people. Also on the quad, our graduation ceremony takes place.
Trey is constantly meeting new people in his position as a tour guide for the university.
This next May, I'll be up next for our graduation. I wanted to have a job where I feel like I could continue to grow my ability to publicly speak, and I felt like tour guiding was great for that. And then also it created a stronger connection with the university here, not just as a football player, but as a student who truly appreciates what Bucknell has to offer.
As a student, Bucknell has brought out Trey's passions in the classroom, ultimately leading him to his major.
I had no idea what I wanted to study at all. I took some intro courses to maybe like economics, management, and eventually took intro to psychology, and I just felt like I had a connection with it. So I just kept taking psychology courses, and eventually I ended up majoring in it, and I feel like I'm happy with my choice. And I got involved in research just this past summer. My multicultural professor of psychology asked me if I wanted to be a part of her research lab. So I said yes, and became a research assistant. And she's a Dominican American professor, and we're looking at pretty much how is the Latinx community, Latina community socialized, how they think about their culture and their race and things like that. And these things are salient with me because my grandmother is actually Mexican and was born in Mexico City. The more I can learn about that culture and bring it, relay it back to myself, the more I feel connected to the research that we do. Being a psychology major is interesting because it's very broad, and I feel like I could do a lot of things, but just trying to figure out exactly what thing I'd be satisfied in. I know I've definitely thought about doing things like AmeriCorps and like Teach for America, kind of like maybe like 2-year fellowships to just get a feel. But I do eventually want to go back to grad school. That is definitely a goal of mine, and whatever the best avenue for that is, I just want to find it. Bucknell as a whole educational system and institution has set me up to be able to pretty much like take off once I graduate from here.